Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, story timers. It's me, Donna Vee, and I'm so excited today. I'm so excited to be here. It is Christmas Eve, December 24th. And you know what? I am so filled with the spirit of Christmas. It is wild. It is a gray day over here on the east coast of New Jersey in Nutley. But I have to tell you, it looks sunny inside, and that's all that counts. Oh, I am so excited for you to be here today. I have such a special treat. I received a message, and the message was that Mrs. Claus might be calling into our show. In fact, I have to wait and be contacted on my Santa phone from one of the 37 elves, and it may just happen. My brother's here. Hi, Peter. Oh my goodness, you're from Lyndhurst. I don't know what's going on at Lyndhurst, but welcome, Peter, and welcome, Lyndhurst. Good morning. It's December 24th. There's only one more sleep until Santa arrives. Jim Tomlinson, Merry Christmas and welcome. And I will be here tomorrow morning with Christmas stories, but I will tell you that today is a magical day. Good morning, Mark Weber. How are you? Merry Christmas Eve. So excited to be here. Hi, Merry Christmas, Ryan, all the way from Ireland. Well, it's closer to Christmas by you because there's a 5-hour time difference. So right now, that means that it is at 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. Wait, is that right? 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Can you imagine? By 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll be doing my last client of the day so that I can get home to my family for Christmas Eve. I'm so excited. Oh, Frank Simon's in the house. What's up? Hi, Eric Freed. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting to see everybody. My Storytime family. If it is your first time here, welcome. If not, welcome back. I am here live Sunday through Friday, 10 to 11 a.m. on Facebook, on Periscope, and on YouTube. Periscope's going away March 31st, so please don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. And it is a family-friendly show, an hour long, 3 books, 3 stories. This month has all been about celebrating different holidays of different people, but this week especially, we had Santa on Sunday. That was the letter S. And then yesterday's letter was V. Today's letter is W. And W for me is always stood for wishes and wonder and so many great things. Oh my goodness. I wonder when the phone's going to ring. Well, I don't know, but I would suggest that if any moms and dads, aunts and uncles, cousins, sisters and brothers, moms and moms, dads and dads, feral kids, anyone's watching that wants to share some holiday joy with their family and friends, I would share this video because I think it's going to ring soon. Oh, definitely, Mark Weber. Great. And thank you for reminding me. Anyone that wants to add someone to my list of shout outs and good mornings totally can, because this is the day that we are going to read them all. Normally we go in the order of the alphabet because look at how many names there are. I mean, I hope Santa knows I have so many good boys and girls on my list. And Sophia is your niece, and I'll definitely shout her out. I'm going to add her right now. If anyone else has someone that they want me to shout out, put it in the comments and we'll shout her out. Let's see who's on today's W list. Let's check it out. All right. Let's see what W even looks like. Oh, that's so funny. Because right here, it looks like jack-o'-lanterns. But this is the letter W. This is the uppercase, and this is the lowercase. And today, there's only one name on the back of my list. Willow. So good morning, Willow. I'm going to shout you out again later because I'm definitely going to shout all the kids' names out today. But W is the letter of the day. All right. Who's ready to do some arm circles? 26 letters in the alphabet. We do some arm circles and stretches, and then we practice our Asl Alphabet. And, it's all about healthy habits and good manners. And, I think it's important. Did you hear that? My phone just rang. My cell phone. Hello? How did you get this number? I thought oh, okay, sorry. Okay, they're going to patch me through. Hello? Oh, I must have had the ringer off. Sorry, I didn't want to wake anybody up. What's going on, Elfie? Oh, I know, I'm so excited. Oh, Mrs. Claus wants to come on? I mean, is she okay with doing arm circles? She loves to do arm circles with us every morning? I think I need a drink of water. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. All right. She's backstage? Okay. All right, I'll let her in. Thanks so much, Elfie. Oh, Merry Christmas, and be careful. Don't slip on the ice. Okay, bye. Oh my gosh, boys and girls, are you so excited? Mrs. Claus is backstage, and she wants to help us with our morning routine. Oh my gosh, are you guys ready? Can you do me a favor? Can we do a 1, 2, 3 countdown? Oh my goodness, are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh,
good morning, Donna. Good morning. Merry Christmas.
Good morning. Merry Christmas, Mrs. Claus. How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm so excited that you're here. Well, are you so excited? The elf just told me that you are going to do our morning routine with us. Are you sure you're up for arm circles after all that wrapping?
Oh, yes, I am. I have to stretch my arms out after all that wrapping.
Oh, okay. Mrs. Claus, do you know how many letters there are in the alphabet?
26.
That's right. And 13 letters in is the middle. And do you know what letter it is?
Letter M.
I'm so excited that you know that too. Isn't that magical?
Yes, it is.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, so we do arm circles we do it all the way to the letter M, then we go backwards, and then at the letter S, Mrs. Claus, I want to see non-spaghetti arm above the head, seated jumping jacks, okay?
Okay.
Oh, you look so beautiful.
Thank you. So do you.
Thank you. Okay, you ready, everybody? Mrs. Claus, I'll let you do the honors of saying the alphabet.
Okay.
Here we go.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M,
Middle.
N, O, P, Q, R, S,
Switch it.
T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
I feel like a little kid again. That was amazing, Mrs. Claus. You're so good, and you're so, limber. I love it.
I have to run after hundreds of elves. And luckily, a lot of them are with Santa today, so this is a little break. Half of them are still here, though, just in case. You know what happens on Christmas Eve. Santa has both books. He has the good book and the bad book. And a lot of times, kids from the bad book end up jumping onto the good book, so the elves here have to rush out and make sure those toys get to where they're going.
That is incredible. Let me ask you this. How could somebody at the last minute get from the naughty list to the nice list?
Well, they could be polite, and if they did something bad, they can apologize to the person they were bad to. And maybe help mom and dad a little more today because it's a very busy day. And, maybe be nicer to a little brother or sister because usually sometimes that's our big thing. Siblings don't get along, especially the older ones. They're a little mean, but if they're nicer today, they can switch over to the other book.
I love that. I love that. Now, one of the other things that we do, I don't know how often you watch or if you know this, but we practice the Asl alphabet.
I've tried doing that. I get so confused.
Well, Mrs. Claus, I'm going to try to help you if you don't mind.
Well, thank you. I'd like that.
All right, I'm going to put it up to show all the boys and girls first, and then we can try it together. So this is what it looks like. Oh, I could actually leave it right like that today. Oh, but we usually use this amazing book. I'm sure your elves are familiar with it, called
They know it.
Dinosaur.
Yes, they know it.
They do, right? So look, ready? So I know the camera's different for you.
Camera's different.
Let's see if I can find my book. Would that be easier?
No, I can see. I'm good. I can see it.
Okay, you ready? Here we go.
I'm ready.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, which is just like K, Mrs. Claus, only on its side.
Okay.
I'm going to move this so we can see the rest of you doing it. K.
Oh, no, I can't see anything.
Oh, I'll put it back on side. L. I mean, did I just say L? Q. R. S. T. U. V. W. X. Y. And then Z. Very good, Mrs. Claus. And then this is I love you.
Oh,
this one.
I can't. Oh, okay. Wait. There we go.
You can do that one for Santa Claus when he comes home. Isn't that nice?
That's nice.
I know. Well, yeah, that's something else that we do. And then we have other healthy habits. Like I try to encourage the kids to do something nice every day and say please and thank you, brush their teeth. And then, yeah, do you know what time it is now?
Is it vitamin time?
She knows.
I see Mrs. Claus has her vitamins.
Mrs. Claus, we take the same vitamins. Whoa. I wonder if we'll get matching vitamins today.
Okay, I don't look.
Don't look.
I didn't look.
I love it. And then we practice good manners. And we usually get out a very special book.
Oh, you mean this book?
You have the same book?
I have the same book.
That is amazing. You have that in the North Pole?
Yes, we do.
Do you read this every day to the elves?
Yes, I do.
Oh my goodness. And this is amazing. So what I do is, do you know why I use my book?
Well, I would say to give some life lessons.
That and I cover my mouth.
No, that's right. Vitamins.
Yeah, we don't want to chew with our mouth open.
Oh, no, 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 no.
That'll put you right back on the naughty list.
Oh, right there.
All right, you ready to see if we have the same vitamins?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. What do you have?
2 purple.
2 are the same. I have a 1 of each today. All right, you ready, Mrs. Claus?
I'm ready.
Okay, 1.
1, 2, 3.
You're such a lady, Mrs. Claus. I just shouted.
There we go.
That was amazing. That was so good. They taste so good. Sometimes after brushing my teeth, though, they're very sour.
I know.
Ooh, someone's saying good morning to Mrs. Claus. Her name is Teresa Lewis.
Good morning, Teresa and Deanna.
Deanna, nice. Are they little girls?
In a way, they are.
Well, I think we're all forever little girls.
Yes.
Well, I didn't know if I should add them to my list.
No, that's okay. No.
No? Do you happen to know what my list is?
All the children that have been on story time.
After we read the Nugget of Truth, I'm going to read the names, and maybe you can help me?
I will help you.
Okay. What would you like to read from the little yellow book today?
Actually, I always wondered what was on the back cover. And there is a Nugget of Truth on the back cover.
She knows about the Nugget of Truth. This is so... Okay. All right. Ready, Mrs. Claus? Will you do me the honors and read the Nugget of Truth for the day?
Absolutely. The truth will not only set you free, it'll slay all dragons, banish all fears, heal what hurts, fill what's empty, clear what's confused, connect all dots, lighten what's heavy, bring friends together, turn dust to gold, and raise the sun.
That's beautiful. Oh, Shari Freed said, good morning, Mrs. Claus.
Good morning, Shari Freed.
Shari Freed's on the nice list for sure.
Oh, absolutely. She's on the nice list.
I love it. Ooh, okay. So I'm going to start to read my list. I wish you had a copy.
Oh, you mean this copy?
How did you get my list?
We get everything up here. We know everything. We see everything.
I'm sorry. I tried to clean my room.
By the way, we also know it was Tracy Locke's birthday last night. So I know Santa wished her a happy birthday. Well, I'd like to wish her a belated happy birthday.
Wow. She is so lucky. Her birthday falls right by Christmas. And we talked about yesterday on Storytime. Some people get upset about it, but I think it's pretty amazing.
Oh, it is, because there's the Santa pile and there's the birthday pile.
It's magic.
It's magic.
All right, well, I'm going to say good morning to the boys and girls, and maybe you can help me. So, I'll read a few, and then how about, if you don't mind helping me?
I don't mind helping you.
Why don't you do the honors and start?
Okay, let's start with TJ, DJ, and Baby Lewis, Olivia Rose, Marin Rose, Molly, Julian, Matthew, Nicholas, Quentin, Willow, Samantha, Frankie, James, Storm, Allie, and Emily.
Okay, and then Ella, Ari, and Luca. We have Vanchan Vishaka from India, Sufrain from France, and Mashi, Lucia and Mia, Brianna, Leah, and Kristen from Johnstown, PA. We have Penelope Snow, who just did her hair in rainbow colors, and her sister Nikki, Layla and Eric, and Tomas and Alec, Lily, Shay, Austin, Holland, Nikki, I think I said that, Leo from Bloomfield. Go ahead, Mrs. Claus.
We have Alex and Hannah, Seamus, Cooper and Tori, Lorraine, Bailey and Michael, Tony, Ace, Aria, and Amber. You did Liam and Harper, right?
Nope.
Uh-oh, I just lost you.
That's okay. You lost me.
I lost you.
It might be the North Pole connection.
Oh, no, it's the North Pole. Oh, there you are.
I'm back.
Santa is, why is Santa interrupting me? I have to find out. Well, let's finish
You know
this
what?
list.
Want me to go and do it really quickly?
Do it really quick and let me see what Santa wanted.
Okay, let's see. Do you need privacy?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So we have Alex and Hannah Lorraine, Bailey and Michaela, Ace R and Amber from the Philippines, Liam Harper, Tiffany Emerson, Ollie, Tony, Bella, AJ, Angelo, whose mommy is an amazing mommy and baker. We've got Colin, Lily, Hunter, Sophie, Giovanni, Gracelyn, Kaylee, Joseph, Roscoe, Scarlett and Juliet, Carmela and Byron. We have Joseph, Maggie, Hannah, Angelo, Riley, Olive, Allie, Andrew, Jack, Serena, Sawyer, Jane, Liam, Byron, Layla, Genevieve, Finn and Fletcher, Anzor and Kai and Zach. We have Jordan, Aaliyah, and Josie, Paisley, Presley, and Liam, Vinny and Joseph, Maggie and Isaac. That's actually Tracy Locke's niece and nephew.
Oh,
Liliana and Melanie, all the way from Massachusetts. Their friends Harper, Blake, Nathan, and Aurora. Jane, Liam, and David. Regina, Lena and Sabino, Mary, Melody and Kayla DiPietro. Patrick, hi Patrick, and Nico, V, and Izzy. Tavia and Max and Luca from Germany. Jake and Maddie, Emma, Liv, Blake, and Sophia. Joe Jr., Caitlin, Ryan, Lucas, and Isabella. Those are Gwen's grandkids. Penelope Rose, which goes by Little Penny. Beefy and Little Joe from up the block. Viviana and Bethany. I want to give a special shout out to my family. I know you already did, but I'm not going to see them for Christmas. So my niece, Olivia Rose, my goddaughter, Marin Rose, and her little sister, Molly. James, Storm, Allie, Emily, Jake, and Kaylin from Texas. And of course, Mrs. Claus, the two hearts that walk outside of my body. That would be Carly and Courtney. And Tracy Locke is here. And she says, Maggie and Isaac, I love you. So she wants to make sure that they hear it live here on Storytime. Amazing, Mrs. Claus. Did you see, Tracy, that Mrs. Claus has a copy of the list? And you know what? Oh, my goodness. Liliana and Melanie are here from Massachusetts. And you know what, Mrs. Claus? They sent me this Squishmallow because they are so filled with so much spirit. They're such good little girls. They're with their grandma, Sherry, watching. And they say, hi, Mrs. Claus. And yes, you look gorgeous.
Thank you, Tracy. Hi, everybody.
Oh, and this is a new hug Squishmallow that we use here every day. I'm so excited. Everyone's so happy to see you.
Well, I'm very happy to be here. And the reason Mr. Claus interrupted me, he wanted me to know where he is, and he is in Geraldton, Australia, and he has delivered 1,452,000 gifts so far.
Whoa.
1,452,618,000 gifts so far.
Isn't that amazing?
A lot of gifts, and he's on the other side of the world.
Oh, I wish I could climb into Santa's sleigh and travel with him and see the whole world like that.
That would be a lot of fun, but that's why I stay here.
How come?
Because, like I said, when that list switch, it's up to me to get those gifts to that sleigh and make sure those kids get those gifts that went from the bad list to the good list.
I love that. That's amazing. If anyone has a question for Mrs. Claus, you could write it in the comments. But you know what part we're up to now, Mrs. Claus?
Let's see. We stretched. We ate our vitamins. We did the alphabet. Is it time for you to read?
Almost. One last thing we have to do.
Oh, I don't remember. I'm so busy. Oh, our social distancing buddies.
Yes, Mrs. Claus knows all about social distancing buddies. And let me ask you, so it's true, all the elves have to wear masks?
Yes, they do.
I'm so excited. Everybody's socially distancing.
Everybody's social distancing. That's why there are toys all over the place this year.
I bet.
Everybody has their little spot and it's 6 feet apart. So we had to spread everybody out, and everybody has very cute masks and they're working very hard.
We have a question from one of my story timers, Corey. He says, what's your favorite cookie?
My favorite cookie? Definitely can't beat a good M&M cookie.
Ooh, an M&M cookie. Okay. And then from Massachusetts, little Melanie would like you to give Santa a hug for her when he returns home.
I will absolutely give him a big hug when he returns.
This is so exciting. Okay, Mrs. Claus, who would you like to send love and light out to today?
I would like to send love and light out to every single child in the world. I know it's been very difficult for them this year, but like Santa showed you, that naughty list was very, very tiny, and they've all been amazing.
That's amazing. So can we do that together?
Yes.
All I want you to do, Mrs. Claus, is just like we do every day, in our head and then in our heart, and a beam of light from our heart centered back and forth, right? We're going to think of all the little boys and girls in the whole world. We don't care what list they're on. They're all loved, and they all deserve love and safety and light and peace. So
exactly.
Yes. So I'll have you do the countdown. So it's from our head to our heart, and a light from me to you and you to me.
1, 2, 3.
That was amazing, Mrs. Claus. Thank you so much.
Well, you're quite welcome.
Oh, Tracy Locke. You know, Tracy, she wants to know the details. Where did Mr. Claus, Santa, take you on your first date?
Our first date was in grammar school at the North Pole, and we went for hot chocolate.
Ooh, that's nice. You've been together forever.
Forever.
I love that. I love that. All right, last thing before we read. We're going to take our hands up, Mrs. Claus. This is something good for you to practice so that this way you can learn when the elves are maybe running around and driving you a little crazy. All you need to do is breathe it in and then out. And we breathe in, I am, and then only positive words. Okay. You want to lead us?
You can lead us on this one. This is yours.
I'll take the reins on this. Okay.
Yeah.
Ready? I am so grateful. I am so hopeful. I am so peaceful. I am such a believer. Mrs. Claus, thank you so much for being here today.
You're quite welcome.
Is there any last message you would like to tell the boys and girls at home?
Just remember, when Mom and Dad say, go to bed tonight, I really, really need you to go to bed tonight, because you have to be asleep or else Santa's going to go right over your house. And if you could leave him low-fat milk, I'd appreciate it, because he has enough sugar from those cookies.
Oh, Mrs. Claus, that's a great tip. I love that. You're so sweet. I thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule.
Thank you for having me.
It was my pleasure. And if you
I will
want to
see
stick
you
around,
next year.
Yeah, I can't wait to see you next year. I'm going to read 3 books plus a bonus book about Christmas Eve. So tell the elves if they need maybe a little bit of a break to tune in.
Oh, I'm definitely going to let them have a break. I'm going to go get them. They will sit around and they will hear you read the stories.
Thank you, Mrs. Claus. You know what? I'm going to do an extra hug. So let's do this together. Put your right hand on your left shoulder, your left hand on your right. Give yourself a hug from me. Squeeze yourself so tight and know that everything's going to be all right. And thank you, Mrs. Claus. I love you. And Mr. Claus, I love him.
We love you too. And thank you for having me. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, Mrs. Claus. What? How cool was that, you guys? That was magical. Oh, I'm telling you, this has been the most magical season ever. First Santa, then Mrs. Claus. All of you are here, and now it's story time. Are you ready? I'm going to put on my elf hat so I can get ready. Yes, that was great. Look at that. All the way from Ireland, she's getting a bravo. Ryan. Okay. All right, here we go. Are you ready? Oh, I guess I should get my books. Whew. I have some amazing books, and I've never read them. So let's see. Oh, this one is called The Night Before Christmas. But I thought it was really cute, and we're going to read this together. All right. Good morning, Mom. What's going on? Here we go. 'Twas the night before Christmas, with too much to do. Our tree wasn't up yet, and Mom had the flu. This kind of describes last night Thankfully, no flu. Our cookies were burned. There were presents to wrap. Mom sniffled. What I need is a long winter nap. But instead, we drove miles to go get our tree. Last week, there were millions. Now there were 3. Dad tied the tree to her car. This will just have to do. Mom nodded glumly and sneezed. Chew! We dragged in our tree through the front door. It dropped half its needles all over the floor. Then Patrick pointed to something quite shocking. Oh no, there were holes in everyone's stockings. Instead, we hung socks by the chimney with care. I hope that St. Nick would fill up my spare. Things will get better, I thought, as I crawled into bed. Maybe visions of sugar plums will dance in my head. Instead, I lay wondering, gazing up at the moon. What on earth is a sugar plum? Is it a candy or a prune? That's a funny question. It's true. Early the next morning, I woke up from a dream. Be careful, Harold! I heard my mom scream. Out on the lawn, there arose such a clatter. I sprang from my bed to see Dad on a ladder. He was stringing up lights on the rooftop and gutters, outlining the railings, the windows and shutters. When he plugged in the cord, not a single light lit. Do we have extra bulbs? Yes, but none of them fit. So off to the mall our family did drive. When Dad saw the crowds, he gasped, 6 alive! We searched every store. All the lights were sold out. But I found something for Grandpa. Silly Gilly the Trout. Finally all done. With our last-minute shopping, we flew past the food court without even stopping. But I want to see Santa, Patrick said with a whine. He pushed through the crowd. Wow, what a time. What a line. It's wrapped around the counters and down the first floor, then wound through kids' clothing and out the front door. After waiting for hours, at last our big chance. Santa roared, ho, ho, ho. Then Pat wet his pants. Let's go home, we all cried, Mom, Patrick, and me. Even jolly old Dad sighed and said, I agree. Hey, Dad. My dad's here, just as they talked about the Gilly the Trout. So on the way home, we sang the Jingle Bell song. All the while, I was thinking, nothing else could go wrong. When what to our wandering eyes should appear but a gigantic mess, that much was clear. The tree was knocked over, my snow globe was shattered, ornaments were broken, tinsel was scattered. Uh-oh. Bad kitty, I shouted. Then Mom started to weep. Christmas is ruined and I need some sleep. No, it's not, Sugar Plum. Oh, this is so sweet. No, it's not, Sugar Plum. These things are just stuff. Christmas is about love, and we have quite enough. Aw. He tucked Mom in bed for some much-needed rest. Then we 3 busy elves all gave it our best. a nice guy. As snow gently fell, turning the earth sparkly white, I knew in my heart Christmas would turn out just right. Dad read us a book and gave us a kiss. It was my favorite story, and it began just like this. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Aww. 'Twas the night before Christmas. Now, we move on to the elves' night before Christmas. Progression. The Elves' Night Before Christmas by Holly Cowett and David Manis. Ooh, and this one was by Natasha Wing and illustrator Mike Lester. This is a great book. "'Twas the night before Christmas, and all Santa's elves were tired but feeling quite proud of themselves. Then one cried, 'Wait a minute, there's something we missed. The most favorite person on everyone's list. What would Santa want? He wasn't a kid.' Oh no. So they went to their workshops, and here's what they did. Sue made him a sandwich, 11 feet tall. The bread couldn't really keep hold of it all. Good morning, Teresa. Tom washed his red suit. It came out squeaky clean, but somehow it shrunk in the washing machine. Imagine the size of an elf's outfit shrinking. I mean, it's already pretty small. Dwayne's reindeer whistle would signal the team, although to the reindeer, it's quite loud, it seems. Philip's statue of snow would be known nationwide. If only he hadn't brought it inside. Kate made a big star for the top of the tree. A little bit too big, if you ask me. A ski jump to start Santa's flight with a leap. Raoul tested it out. It might be too steep. Liz made fancy labels. She mixed them up, though, so a present for Janie might end up with Joe. Interesting. A gift wrap machine that everything fits in, but then Clara couldn't find Rudolph or Blitzen. And look at this. Do you see that? Lee jazzed up the sleigh. Now it only flies zigzag, which made all the presents fall out of the big bag. Oh boy. Then a knock at the door, and Santa walked in. How to explain this? Where to begin? We made you these gifts. A few were mistakes. We lost a few reindeer, and we had some bad breaks. How about something else? We have a box. We have box after box. Fingernail clippers, cuckoo bird clocks, said the old elf. Snowshoes, hula hoops, exercise kits, CDs of the best karaoke elf hits. We're sorry, they wailed. Please, please, Santa, understand. The gifts we made didn't work out as planned. Oh, gosh. They're crying. But Santa spoke up. No more crying. Please stop. I love what you did, because it came from the heart. I love that. So they ironed his suit, then fixed up his sleigh, and made him hot chocolate to drink on his way. Then Santa called out as he flew out of sight, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Yay! That's a great story about how you can make something special for someone and try, and you don't have to have everything store-bought. And that's important to know because now everybody's staying home. So I'm sure you can find something, even if the gift you give your mom and your dad or whoever it is that you live with or takes care of you, you can make your bed. Like Mrs. Claus said, today's a great day to help more or extra around the house. Fold your socks, maybe even close all of your drawers where your clothes are. Yeah, I'm saying that one because I know I have to do that. Okay, enough of the confessions of an elf. Christmas Eve on Sesame Street. Created by John Stone. Illustrated by John Matthew. Good morning, Daria. Nice to see you. Thank you. Here we go. It was the afternoon of Christmas Eve, and some friends from Sesame Street were having a skating party. Let's play Snap the Whip, said Cookie Monster. Wonderful, wonderful, one time around, said the Count. 2 times around. The Count grabbed Ernie's arm. 3 times around, the Count continued. Ernie took Bert's arm and spun him around. 4 times around, 5 times around. The Count was delighted, but Bert grabbed desperately at a trash can that just happened to be skating by. You know who that is? That's Oscar. From inside the can, a grouchy voice grumbled, Hey, take your hands off the hardware. 6 times around, yelled the Count. Take it easy, yelled the trash can. Stop, yelled Bert. But now they were going too fast to stop. Around and around and around, faster and faster and faster. Bert tried with all his might to hold on, but uh-oh. The can went flying through the air, down a flight of stairs, through a wall, down some more stairs, through another wall, and out a door. Finally landed with a crash on the sidewalk outside. Oscar, are you all right? Big Bird set the trash can upright. Oscar poked his head out and shook his green fur. All right, let's go back and do it again. Then he mumbled, I've been thrown out of better places than that. Oh, I'm so glad you're all right, Oscar, said Big Bird. I want everybody to be happy on Christmas Eve. It's a big night tonight. Santa's reindeer will be landing on the roof, and then he'll take his big bag of toys and slide right down the chimney. Oscar couldn't stand it. Just hold it right there, Bird Brain. Do you know how big the inside of a chimney is? Big Bird and his friend Patty didn't. About this big. So that's how big. And he's holding his hands like this. Oscar held his grubby paws about 6 inches apart. So how's a guy like Santa Claus, who's built like a dump truck, how's he going to get down all those skinny chimneys, huh? Big Bird had to think about that. Well, he holds his breath like this. And Big Bird sucked in his breath to make himself thinner. Well, he holds his breath. That's like trying to get a basketball into a ginger ale bottle, snorted Oscar. Big Bird tried again. Well, he couldn't come down the fire escape and in the window, could he? Window's locked, growled Oscar. Through the door? Asked Patty. Door's locked, snapped Oscar. Big Bird's eyes filled with tears. I don't know how Santa gets in. Then Oscar spoke very softly, so Big Bird and Patty had to lean in close to hear him. Well, I think you better find out, because if there isn't a way for him to get in, there are going to be a lot of empty stockings around town tomorrow morning. Merry Christmas. Ooh. Sometimes we come across grouchy, grumpy people Christmas time. Big Bird sighed and sat down on the curb. He was so upset that he didn't notice his friends were heading back to Sesame Street. They were singing and laughing, but Big Bird didn't even hear them. Come on, Big Bird, said Patty. It's time to go home. When Big Bird and Patty finally arrived back on Sesame Street, Kermit the Frog was waiting for them. Kermit could see that right away that something was wrong, and being a clever frog, he knew just how to find out what was wrong. What's wrong? He asked. Big Bird told him. Oh, it's that Oscar. Everything was fine until he started asking, how does Santa Claus get down the skinny chimneys and when he's so fat? And we've got to find out, said Patty. Big Bird agreed, because if Santa can't get down the chimney, nobody will get any presents tonight. Now, Kermit knew that was wrong, and he gave the problem some frog thought. Then he had a frog idea. Who knows more about Santa Claus than anybody? Big Bird and Patty guessed. The elves? Mrs. Claus? Macy's? But Kermit had another answer. Kids! That's who? So I'll just round up Grover and Harry, and we'll go ask some kids. And off he went to find Grover and Harry. In the basement apartment at 123 Sesame Street, Ernie threw his skates under the sofa. Bert was already undressed and ready for a hot bath. Oh boy, he sighed as he slowly lowered himself into the bubbles. This feels peachy. But suddenly he had a terrible thought. Golly wonkers, it's Christmas Eve, and I still don't have an idea for Ernie's present. It's got to be something special. Wait a minute. What's this in the tub? And he found Ernie's rubber duck. Ah, say, this gives me a nifty idea. I know what to get Ernie. I'll get him a soap dish. He can put his rubber ducky in it so it won't keep falling in the water. I better get over to Mr. Hooper's store right now. Meanwhile, in the living room, Ernie noticed something shiny on the rug. Because he was curious, he did something that he almost never did. He picked it up. Why, it's a paper clip, he said. I'll bet it's from my old buddy Bert's paperclip collection. He looked closer. Of course, it's Bert's 1957 Acme. Why, he'd feel just awful if he lost this. Hey, now I know what I'll get Bert for Christmas. I'll get him a cigar box so he can keep his paper clip collection in it. That's what I'll get him. Then none of his paper clips will ever get lost again. As soon as Bert left the bathroom, Ernie grabbed Rubber Ducky. Bert, called Ernie, I'm going out for a while. And he tossed the 1957 Acme paperclip over his shoulder back onto the rug and marched out the front door. Ernie hurried to Mr. Hooper's store. Hello, Ernie, said Mr. Hooper. What brings you here? Well, just doing a little last-minute shopping. And, Mr. Hooper, I suppose you gave Rubber Ducky here. Oh, sorry, I skipped ahead. Then he spotted just the thing he was looking for. Say, that sure is a fine-looking cigar box on your shelf. I don't have any money, said Mr. Hooper, but I suppose if I gave you Rubber Ducky here for that cigar box, would you trade? Ernie, exclaimed Mr. Hooper. He couldn't believe his ears. Are you sure you love that rubber ducky more than anything? Ernie swallowed hard and looked up at Mr. Hooper. I just got to have that cigar box. Mr. Hooper stared long and hard at that sad little face. Then he slowly took the cigar box down from the shelf. Well, if it's really that important, he said. Here's the cigar box, said Mr. Hooper. Thanks, Mr. Hooper, said Ernie, and here's Rubber Ducky. He thought for a moment. Goodbye, Mr. Hooper. Then he looked one last time at his chubby little yellow bathtub friend and said the hardest thing in the world for him to say. Goodbye, Rubber Ducky. As Ernie turned to leave, the door opened. It was Bert. Ernie quickly hid the cigar box behind his back. See you at home, Bert, he said, and before Bert could answer, Ernie ran out of Mr. Hooper's store, holding the cigar box so Bert couldn't see it. Ahem, Mr. Hooper, stammered Bert. I am prepared to offer you the deal of a lifetime. Now this is the finest paperclip collection in the free world. Just look. Oh, here's my chrome-plated jumbo gem. This is the one I bent into shape of the letter W. Look. It's very impressive, Bert, said Mr. Hooper. Bert agreed, yes, and they're also individual. I'm prepared to trade you this terrific paperclip collection for just one small soap dish. What do you say, Mr. Hooper? Do we have a deal? Mr. Hooper knew how Bert felt about his paperclip collection. It was very much the same way Ernie felt about his rubber ducky, but he could see that Bert's mind was made up. What can I say, Bert? You talked me into it. Here's the soap dish. I'll put it in a nice box for you. Oh, thank you, Mr. Hooper. Then Bert paused for a moment. There's just one more thing, Mr. Hooper. Can I come by once in a while to visit my paperclip collection? His voice choked and his eyes filled with tears. He couldn't finish the question. Never mind, he said. Bert slowly turned and left the paperclips at the store. Mr. Hooper stared after his friend. Then he looked down at the rubber ducky and paper clips on his counter. After a moment, he smiled, gathered them up and put them in boxes, and closed his shop. He hurried down Sesame Street. He was thinking so hard he didn't even notice Bob until Bob spoke to him. Happy Hanukkah, Mr. Hooper. It was just like Bob to remember that Mr. Hooper celebrated the Jewish holiday at this time of the year. Thank you, Bob, he said, and Merry Christmas to you. As Mr. Hooper passed the trash cans in front of 123 Sesame Street, he heard a gravelly, grouchy voice. Hanukkah, Christmas presents, songs, happy kids. It's all a lot of baloney if you ask me. Mr. Hooper stopped and thoughtfully touched the ratty grouch stocking that was hanging from Oscar's can. If it's a lot of baloney, Oscar, he asked, then why do you have this stocking hung here on Christmas Eve? Oscar was trapped, but he managed to think fast. If you must know, Mr. Nosy Parker, I was just drying my laundry. And Oscar slammed back into his can so Mr. Hooper couldn't see how embarrassed he was. After Ernie had left Hooper's store, he went right back home and wrapped Bert's present. And just in time, too, as he was taping the last corner, Bert walked in the door. Oh, I'm glad you're home, Bert, old buddy, said Ernie. I can't stand it any longer. Let's open our presents right now. Okay, Ernie, said Bert. Let's go. And he handed Ernie the package he was carrying. Merry Christmas, Ernie. Merry Christmas, Bert. You go first. Bert studied the neatly wrapped present that Ernie held out to him. Ernie, what a superb wrapping job. Now, if I can just slide my finger under the paper and get the tape. No, how about scissors? Well, maybe if I just. Ernie couldn't stand waiting. Just open it, Bert. He howled, and Bert tore off the paper. Oh, hunky dory. Ernie, a cigar box. It's perfect for your paper clip collection, Bert. Suddenly, Bert's knees became weak, and his face felt cold and clammy. For my paper clips? Tears filled his big round eyes, but somehow he controlled himself. Why don't you open your present, Ernie? And Ernie did. Why, Bert, it's a soap dish. That's right, Ernie, Bert said proudly. I got it for Rubber Ducky. As soon as Ernie heard it was for Rubber Ducky, his heart just broke. Now there would always be an empty soap dish in his tubby to remind him that Rubber Ducky was gone forever. Just then, there was a knock at the door. Come in, Ernie said sadly. It was Mr. Hooper. Merry Christmas, boys, he said, and he handed a gift to each of them. Ernie and Bert tried to smile. Slowly they unwrapped the presents, not really caring what was inside. Not really caring at all until they saw what was inside. Bert reached in the wrapping and pulled out a handful of bright, shiny metal. Mr. Hooper, he exclaimed, it's my paper clip collection. And here's my Rubber Ducky, shouted Ernie, jumping up and down. But suddenly Bert had a terrible thought. Ernie, we didn't get Mr. Hooper anything. You're wrong, Bert, said Mr. Hooper. I got the best Christmas present ever. My present was seeing that everyone got exactly what they wanted for Christmas. Kermit and Harry, and Grover were spending the afternoon talking to kids. Everyone they asked had a different idea about how Santa Claus gets down the chimney, and Kermit wrote down every single one. Finally, Kermit went back to where Big Bird, Patty, and Snuffy were waiting. Doesn't look good, Big Bird, he said. Just listen to some of the answers we got. Santa Claus goes on a crash diet every Christmas Eve and loses 200 pounds. Santa Claus several kids believe that they have rubber chimneys. Here's one who says Santa either has a fishing pole or very long arms. Or how about this? He sneaks in with the relatives at Thanksgiving and hides in the laundry room until Christmas. No, moaned Big Bird. This isn't getting us anywhere. Here it is Christmas Eve, and we still do not know how Santa gets down the chimney. What are we going to do? I'm really sorry, Big Bird, said Kermit, but we tried. Well, what do you think, Kermit? Asked Big Bird. Kermit stopped and thought for a long time. I don't know how Santa gets down the chimney, Big Bird. Patty and Big Bird were left alone with Snuffy. Now, Snuffy, said Big Bird, we're going to use a scientific way to get to find out how Big Fat Santa gets down those skinny little chimneys. I'm sure it will work if you thought of it, Bird, said Snuffy. Now there's what we'll do, continued Big Bird. You play the part of Santa Claus, and we'll pretend that this barrel is a chimney. I don't know. Wait a minute, Big Bird said to himself. I can find out how Santa gets down the itty-bitty chimneys. Ooh, how's he going to find out? Well, they called Cookie Monster and they wrote a letter to Santa Claus. Oh, and they went up to see Gordon in Gordon's apartment and Susan's apartment. Gordon was hanging the Christmas stockings. Cookie followed him around as he worked. Gordon, me tried to write letter to Sandy Claus, but me ate the pencil. Me ate the typewriter too. Well, Santa knows all about you, Cookie Monster, laughed Gordon. He'll bring you some cookies. Don't worry. Santa knows about each and every one of us. All the while, his friends were searching for him. Big Bird was sound asleep on the roof, still trying to figure out how Santa gets down the chimney. Oscar, what did you do? Maria said. I hope you're satisfied. You had to start all this stuff about Santa and the tiny chimneys and no presents. Oh, I was only teasing him, Oscar answered. He'll come back. He's part homing pigeon. Besides, what's the big deal? He lives outside anyway. Oh, now we're going to look for him. Okay, said Oscar. Not very nice, teasing him on Christmas Eve. Now everyone on Sesame Street was looking for Big Bird. Not nice. Up on the cold roof, Big Bird was fast asleep. Snow was piling up around his feet, and 2 little icicles had formed on his beak. He was in danger of freezing. He couldn't hear the jingle of the sleigh and the clatter of reindeer hooves landing on the roof. Maybe he thought he was dreaming, and maybe it wasn't a dream. Maybe it was really happening, or maybe it was just the noises from the street below. Then Big Bird dreamed that someone was jumping down from the sleigh and walking closer and closer to him. No, that was just the wind blowing through the chimneys. Or was it the pigeons? And then this big, fat, jolly fellow was standing right in front of him. He reached down and touched Big Bird to wake him up. Or maybe it was just some snow blowing. Whatever it was, Big Bird's eyes suddenly opened. Big Bird looked all around the roof, but there was no one there. There wasn't even a footprint in the snow. He shook his feathers and shivered. It's cold. I better go down to Gordon and Susan's and warm up. He poked himself in the side. I think I froze my giblets. Giblets. Oh, Big Bird climbed down the stairs and he went in to warm himself up in Gordon and Maria's apartment. And he saw gifts were piled high under the branches. The stockings bulged with presents, and holly and mistletoe and ribbons and tinsel hung everywhere. Big Bird stopped and stared at the beautiful room. Oh dear, he sighed. Now I'll never find out how Santa did it. Gordon looked at his friend. Big Bird, do you remember what Oscar said to you? Yes, Big Bird answered. Oscar said that if Santa Claus couldn't get down those itty-bitty chimneys, no one would get any presents. Well, just look around. Does it look like no one's getting any presents? Big Bird, it's a miracle. How did he do it? But why do you want to know? Asked Gordon. Well, Gordon, it's important. No, Big Bird, that's not what's important, Gordon said. What's important is that we lost you tonight, and we were all very worried about you, and now you're back safe and sound, and we're all together for Christmas. That's what's important. And that's true. Being together is important, not figuring everything out. Okay, that was a long story, and I hope you're still here because this story is a bonus book, and I have to read this. There's no other time to read this book except for today. Santa is coming to New Jersey. I'm so excited. This was a gift given to me by a friend of mine, and I have to read this today because guess what? That's where I live, New Jersey. I don't know where Santa is now. Mrs. Claus told us a little while ago Santa was by Australia, but soon Santa will be by New Jersey. I know Santa will be at, well, delivering presents in Ireland before here because it's 5 hours ahead. So we have a little bit of time. Here we go. Santa is coming to New Jersey. Let's see what time it is. It's 5 minutes till wish time. Written by Steve Smallman, illustrated by Robert Dunn. Exactly, Corey. Well, boomed Santa, have all the children from New Jersey been good this year? Well, mostly, answered the little old elf as he bustled across the busy workshop to Santa's desk. Santa peered down at the elf from behind the tall, teetering piles of letters that children of New Jersey had sent him. Mostly? Asked Santa, looking over the top of his glasses. Yes, but they've all been especially good in the last few days, said the elf. Jolly good, chuckled Santa. Then we better get their presents loaded up. Ooh, newsflash. I just got a message from Mrs. Claus. He's in Burma. Thanks, Mrs. Claus. She hears everything. Even though the sack of presents was really, really big, and the elves were really, really small, they seemed to have no trouble loading it onto Santa's sleigh. Though how they managed to fit such a big sack onto a little sleigh, even they didn't know. But somehow they did. Splendid, boomed Santa. We're ready to go. Not quite, Santa, said the little old elf. One of our reindeer is missing. Missing? Which reindeer is missing? Asked Santa. The youngest one, Santa, said the elf. It's his first flight tonight. I've called him, but just then a young reindeer strolled up, munching a large carrot. Where have you been? Asked Santa. But the youngest reindeer was crunching so loudly that it was no wonder he hadn't heard the old elf calling. Oh, well, never mind, said Santa, giving the reindeer a little wink. He took out his Santa nav and tapped in the coordinates for New Jersey. This will guide us to New Jersey in no time. Crunch, crunch, crunch. With a flick of the reins and a jerk of the harness, off they went racing through the sky. Ho, 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 Santa laughed. We'll soon have the presents delivered to the Garden State. Santa's sleigh flew through the starry night, heading south across the North Atlantic. On they flew in the wintry air, crossing the coast over New England. In the wink of an eye, the sleigh was flying above New York and on to New Jersey. The youngest reindeer was very excited. He had never been away from the North Pole before. Very exciting. They had just crossed over the High Point Monument when suddenly they ran into a blizzard. Snowflakes whirled around the sleigh. They couldn't see a thing. The youngest reindeer was getting a bit worried, but Santa didn't seem concerned. 2 miles, said the Santa nav in a bossy lady's voice. Oh, Santa's nav is in a lady's voice. I love it. It's probably Mrs. Claus. Ooh, 1 minute till wish time. We get to wish together on Christmas Eve. in 2 miles, said the Santa Nab in a bossy lady's voice. Keep left at the next star. But ma'am, Santa blustered, I can't see any stars in all this snow. Soon they were hopelessly lost. Make a wish! Make a wish that Santa can find his way through the snow. Or make a wish that only you know. Okay. Then, through the howling blizzard, the youngest reindeer heard a faint ringing sound. Ding dong. He looked over at the old reindeer with the red nose, but he had his head down. Uh-oh, red nose. I wonder who that could be. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. There was that sound again, like church bells ringing. The youngest reindeer turned around to look at Santa, but Santa wasn't listening. He seemed to be arguing with a little box with buttons on it. With a flick of the harness and a jerk of the reins, the youngest reindeer gave a sharp tug and headed off toward the sound of the bells, pulling Santa and his sleigh behind him. Wonder what that could be. Ding dong. That's wild. Whoa! Cried Santa, pulling his hat straight. What's going on? Then, to his surprise, he heard the ringing sound. Well done, young reindeer, he shouted cheerfully. It must be the bells of the Cathedral Basilica of the Sacred Heart in Newark. Don't worry, children. Santa is coming. Then suddenly, crunch! The sleigh hit something as it plummeted through the snow clouds. You have arrived, said the Santa Nab unhelpfully. Finally, when the snow had died down and the clouds parted, Santa discovered exactly where they were. Stuck right at the very top of the National Newark building. Everybody pull! The reindeer pulled with all their might until at last, with a screeching noise, the sleigh scraped clear of the building and Santa steered them safely up Broad Street above Rutgers University, past the New Jersey Performing Arts Center, over the Newark Museum, and down into Branch Brook Park. Whoa! That's not far from me. Luckily, there was no real damage done, but the packages had all been jumbled up, and Santa quickly sorted out the presents in order again. All right, said Santa. Thanks to this young reindeer, I know where we are now. Don't worry, children. Santa is coming. Santa drove his sleigh expertly from rooftop to rooftop all over New Jersey, popping in and out of chimneys as fast as he could, which was pretty fast for a chubby fellow. There were big chimneys in Elizabeth and small chimneys in Vineland, and he squeezed down thin chimneys in Trenton and plummeted down fat chimneys in Princeton. The youngest reindeer was amazed at how quickly they went. Santa never seemed to get tired at all, and it looked like children in New Jersey were going to be very lucky this year. But the youngest reindeer was starting to feel a bit weary and quite hungry too. In house after house, Santa delved into his sack for packages of every shape and size. He piled them under the Christmas trees and carefully filled up the stockings with surprises. In house after house, the good children of New Jersey had left out a large plate of cookies, a small glass of milk, and big crunchy carrot. Santa took a little bite out of each cookie and a tiny sip of milk, wiped his beard, and popped the carrots into his sack. From Asbury Park to Atlantic City, from Sussex County to Cape May, from Ho-Ho-Kiss Hocus to Hackensack and all the places in between, Santa and his sleigh visited every house in New Jersey. Santa delivered presents to Allison, Andrew, Anna, Arabella, Archie, Ashley. The list went on and on, all the way to Zach, Zara, Zeb, Zoe, Zibble. Zibble? That must be a spelling mistake, surely. How beautiful. That's Asbury Park. Finally, Santa has delivered the last present on his long New Jersey list. Great moons and stars, sighed Santa. It's past midnight and my sack seems as heavy as ever. I hope I haven't forgotten anyone. Santa opened his sack to check, but it was full of juicy, crunchy carrots. Merry Christmas! Ah, Andreas from Germany's here. Nice. Good morning, Christina. Santa divided the carrots among all the reindeer. Well done, he said, patting the youngest reindeer gently on the nose, but the youngest reindeer didn't hear him. He was too busy munching. Then it was time to set off for home. Santa reset his Santa Nav once more to the North Pole, and soon they were speeding over Jersey City, across Liberty State Park, and above Ellis Island through the crisp, starry night. Ho, 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 laughed Santa. Merry Christmas, New Jersey. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas Eve. I will be back tomorrow morning for anyone that wants to share story time on Christmas Day. I am so excited because I have really amazing books and it's going to be a special day. And don't forget, if you have anyone on the list that you want me to mention, you can put it in the comments. And I would love to add children's names to the list. Remember, you saw that Mrs. Claus has a copy of our list and she knows who's watching Storytime. And I bet she knows all of our story timers are kind and polite and caring and sweet and love to read books and exchange positive energy. And for that, I will say, I think we should give each other a big hug for Christmas Eve because I have to go to work. Yep. Everybody wants to look pretty for Christmas, and I'm in charge of that. Yeah, I know. Some of the elves don't want gray hair. What are you going to do? So put your right hand on your left shoulder, your left hand on your right. Give yourself a hug from me and squeeze yourself so tight. And know that I wish I was squeezing you myself. And for now, I will say, pretend I'm your elf. I had to come up with something. I love you so much. Let's breathe our way out. Are you ready? Be grateful. I am grateful. I am filled with joy. I am hopeful. I am a believer. Okay, everybody. Don't forget, see you in the morning. Merry Christmas. Love you. Bye.